you guys? We are live in effect. It is Thursday, and this is the Locker Room Show. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood, and the gentleman that you see on the screen with me is none other than the guy who holds me down every single Thursday on the Locker Room Show, and that is Q, the guru. What's going on, Q?
What's going on, Coach? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, we got a lot to talk about. I already see our guest joining on backstage, so we're going to let him get acclimated and ready to go. But cool. We got a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot going on in this football industry. I'm seeing kids getting tricked and all kind of stuff.
Man, the whole squad, bro. The whole squad. Just everybody just riding.
Everybody got keys.
Man,
I don't even know if everybody got a license.
Man, we need one more year eligibility, man. That's what we need, man. We need 1 year, man. Matter of fact, just give me one semester. That's all good.
One semester. Let me tell Zeke that I see him on the backstage here. But, see if he can get a little bit more light on himself. 1 second, you guys.
Yeah, man. That boy, it's always some awesome subjects, man, to touch on. So we're going to get it going here momentarily, folks. Definitely.
Yes, indeed. So, hold on. I'm going to tell him to come off and come back on.
Cool.
1 second, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, we are live, obviously. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. That's Q. We're bringing on the great Zeke Moreno. This is somebody who is a phenomenal linebacker at USC. You guys had a great NFL career and then also went on to have a great career in Canada too. So I see him working to get on here on the backstage. A lot to share with you because Zeke is somebody I've known since he was in high school. We actually played on an all-star team together, and then he was fortunate, you guys, to have a great career at USC. Like I said, play in Southern California, right next to his hometown for the San Diego Chargers. Great career for USC, and we're looking to get into it. So, Zeke, I can see you on the backstage, buddy, but we're not getting a visual. So I don't know if you're on the phone or if you happen to be on your laptop. But if you can hear me, I got you on the backstage. Let's see if we can get a visual on you here. One sec. Obviously, we are live, you guys, so we're going to get him set up here. Let's see if he can hear me. Hey, Zeke, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy, but we can't see you. Are you on the phone?
No, I'm on my laptop. It might be the reception, but we're
your camera's right on. Now, but maybe your camera's not on.
Can you maybe your camera's off? Let me see if we can
No, my camera's
when you're on. Logging in. Oh, there's something. I got a picture right there. And then
I just turned my cam off. Now I'm turning it back on.
Interesting.
And there's nothing blocking it. There's no
it's just
square or anything. Okay.
It keeps the mysterious side of the show.
The mysterious side
Halloween, of the it plays that effect. Sometimes things are meant to be, and this is one of them. It's mysterious. We're in October. We got cancer awareness. We got everything going on now.
Right.
I know those glimpses. You showed me those photos when I was younger. Now people are going to be, what's he look like now? Where is he at?
What's he look like? Where is he at? Is there any
seriousness of it?
By any chance, do you have enough bars on your phone where you can log in through your phone?
Yeah. Let's go ahead that. But
okay, go off laptop and then try on phone. And then if for some reason we can't, we'll roll with this. But yeah, try on phone real quick. And it's usually just like doing a Zoom on your phone.
Perfect.
And then I'm gonna kick you off here. If for some reason you can't get back on your phone, come back with your laptop. But we appreciate it, buddy. And we'll do some filler because you got a lot of accolades. No worries, man. I
apologize for the delay.
Oh, no
but I'm excited to see you guys. It's been a while.
It's been a while, brother. So we'll kick you off on this and then try on your phone and we'll get it going. Okay. All right, you guys. So we will have, obviously, we've got Zeke with us, but he's having a little bit of tech difficulty. We'll have him here shortly.
Cool.
Once again, this is somebody I met when I was 17 years old. Shrine Cali game, big linebacker out of the San Diego area, and would come and knock your head off if you were coming across the middle,
I
man.
believe it. I believe it.
Yes, indeed. And then the cool thing about it, and we'll get into it, you guys, as we get Zeke back on here, but he comes from a football family. So his brother is Moses Moreno, and Moses was a great quarterback at Colorado State. Definitely familiar with him, being a CU alum myself. And then you guys went on to be drafted by the Chicago Bears and also played for the Chargers. So there's a unique element too, because not too many brothers, Q, get to play for the same team, the same professional team. So definitely excited to get in here with the great Zeke Moreno. This is somebody, you guys, that played at the Blue Blood School, USC. Currently, he's a business owner, so he's making moves off the field. Definitely want to get into that as well. But let's talk a little bit, Q, about what we're talking about coming in, man. The Utah Utes. University of Utah. We're in a new day and age with NIL, and they decided to hand truck keys, man, brand new trucks to all of the 85 scholarship players on the team. So when I sent that to you, man, what was the first thoughts of your mind when you see everybody gets a truck, Oprah style?
What after I picked my mouth up off the ground, I just, man, I was like, that's 85 brand new Ram pickup trucks, man.
Yes.
And here's the thing, it's like, that's awesome in and of itself, but is all you talking about 85 kids in that age group with responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this is gonna work out. And you wish the best, and maybe schools, will be like, well, hey, we're gonna follow suit, but off-season parties, drinking, typical college activity, and everybody's got a car.
You saying you don't know if the truck comes back in one piece, huh?
Man, I'm telling you, yeah, well, hopefully it'll work out for the best, and that's a big come up, for all those scholarship players. That's huge.
Great. So I see Zeke back on the backstage. Unfortunately, we don't have a visual, but that's okay because we're gonna get the content anyway. Zeke, can you hear me okay, buddy?
I can hear you just fine. I'm trying alternate things while we get audio. So
got you.
Okay, no worries at all. We'll rock and roll and get everything going. I'm gonna switch you guys around here. So all right, man. Well, hey, we got you loud and clear, and definitely excited to have you. There's a lot of people that are going to be listening live, recorded. These are student athletes. Zeke, I know you love to give back, man, and I know you really care about the next generation. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Again, I do apologize for being late.
Oh, no, it's
no problem. No problem at all. So let's get into it, man. I want to talk about when you sit back. I don't know if you're smoking a cigar or if you're on vacation with your feet in the sand, but when you sit back, man, and you think about your long career and everything that you've been able to accomplish, more than most, of course, what are some of the replays that come into your mind, whether it was back in high school, college, pro days? What are some of your most prevalent memories?
It's funny because I tell people all the time, some of my greatest memories and from all my professional days, collegiate career, and in high school, I mean, for me, high school, it stands out. There's been so many memories. We had so much success in high school. We won CIF championships, but it's just the camaraderie that we had as a team, and it was a whole team when we would show up to gatherings and back then going to Rosarito and having fun. It was as a team unit. And as you know, when you get to the collegiate level, And even in the pros, it starts to create the little cliques within your defense or within your linebacker core. And then so you stop hanging out with everyone, although you mingle with everyone, but you become brothers within that special group, that your positions that you're with. I've had tons of memories with my professional days and the players that I've met with. But that's my high school. So that's why I tell people that are in high school, don't push fast forward. Don't look to the next stage. Enjoy the moment, be in the present, because these are going to be memories you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And if you just bypass that, it's going to go within a blink of your eye. And you're going to have opportunities down, you guys, I think I stepped in when you guys were talking about parties at the college level. That's going to be there, so it's just important for these high school kids to be in the moment, be in the present, enjoy where you're at, and keep working for the future. But don't just look for the future. Work for it, but be present.
Yeah.
I'm losing you.
Yeah, I wish I'll try to.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man.
Okay. We got you, like
the
you
beauty
said,
of being alive.
We're getting close to Halloween, so things are getting spooky. But we got the great Zeke Moreno with us, you guys, and thank you for joining us. I see the great coach Eric Foss, Jimmy Rucker. I see my mother-in-law jumped in from Colorado checking in, so thank you guys for joining us. Unfortunately, we don't have a visual on Zeke. Oh, there we go. Things are getting in. Things are getting into order. I got the great Zeke right here. There he is. Right. Hold on, I got you.
Period. It's over now.
There we go, brother. That's how a USC Trojan gets in there. He gets in there. Right. So there you go. The number nine. So let's get on, you guys, to the next one. And this one was interesting because obviously today's a different age, Zeke, than when we played. When we play, you can knock somebody out and you'd be applauded for it. If you got knocked out, they say you got a little stinger or maybe your brain's a little dusty, but get back in there. But recently, you guys, we had the great Jamal Adams, safety for the Seahawks, got into a little trouble because he got injured. He got a concussion in the Monday night game. And they have a third-party doctor that evaluates guys, and he went off. He's on camera yelling and by being rude to the third-party concussion specialist, and he may be disciplined. He may miss a game or be fined. And I wanted to ask you guys, we'll start off with you, Q. Who should have the final say, man, when it comes to somebody, this is how we eat. Some of these guys got incentives that are tied to their play on the field. Yeah. If I'm telling you I'm fine, you're not my doctor, you're a third-party doctor. Who should have the final say in your mind on who goes back in the field?
Well, I'm always going to say, in theory, I would say the player, but the way that you have to be built in order to play this game, it's like boxers as well. We always gonna go out on our shield. We could be where we see 4 of everybody out there, and we going right back out there. That's just how you gotta be. That's just how we built, being warriors playing this game. So obviously, this organization hired this third-party doctor. He's there to do his job. You gotta let him do his job, because sometimes as players, and we've all been guilty, these doctors are there in a lot of cases to save us from ourselves.
Good point right there. Zeke, I know that you've had your bell rung before on the field. It's a different day and age. Do you think that he should be fined for being a little emotional during this time, or do you think that they should give him a mulligan? They should let him slide?
These doctors are non-biased because they're not team doctors or NFL doctors. They're there for the players, and it's hard. Like you mentioned, it's the caliber of these athletes. It's almost like you have a moment of insanity because the adrenaline going the games, depending on the situation, your players are out there, games on the line, and you want to be out there. You don't want to feel like you're letting them down. So I understand the frustrations and within the player's mindset, but we also have to hold ourselves accountable because we are reflections. We are athletes, so we got to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Unfortunately, those things are caught on camera nowadays. Everything's caught on camera, on video, on phones, so you have to be extra cautious as far as what you're doing, and always act as far as there's a camera on you. It's an unfortunate situation. I tell you, one way to get around this situation is just have everyone's mother on speed dial, have the mother make a decision, and it was probably the same exact thing. Mama's gonna say, no, pull them out.
All right.
Nobody's cussing out mama. There you go.
Right.
The NFL needs to listen to that. So that's a good hack right there. No more Jamal Adams outbursts. So let's get on to our next topic, you guys. And this one is a big one. I definitely wanted to touch upon this because you come from a football family, Zeke, very talented family. Your brother was a star at Colorado State on in the NFL just like you. And a lot of the athletes we work with do have older siblings, that may have had some success. And I wanted to ask you, did you ever feel the pressure of having a baller brother, or was that good? Was that something that aided you having success?
Well, it's always definitely a blessing. I think growing up in a household with brothers who are athletes, it definitely helped me being the younger ones, because they weren't easy on me. 5 boys in a household. It was always, especially back then, right? It was always outside, playing outdoors for 4 or 5 hours, and then coming in right before it gets dark, washing up and eating dinner. So them being rough at me at an early age, I think instilled certain things, the toughness that enabled me to carry with me for my career. As far as him going before me, I think it was always a blessing because he always guided me through the transitions of what's going to take place. It was always, okay, here's what's going to happen at the collegiate level. This is what to expect. Same thing with the pros. When I got drafted, he was actually with the San Diego Chargers, and he kind of told me, what to expect, how to come in. So in that aspect, I wasn't necessarily going in blind. He kind of gave me some prep work. So for me going into it, it was always a blessing. And then seeing my older brother, all my brothers succeed, that's what we want in life. And we strive to always one up each other. We're a competitive household. We talk trash, but we when it's all said and done, we want everyone to be successful. But I never got the opportunity just to give him one good sack and put him on his back so I could hold that.
Yeah. And very rare that 2 siblings play for the same organization. That's awesome. Let alone make it to the NFL, the same organization. Yeah. So that's huge right there. Yeah. I want to get into our next topic. And if you're joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. On the far right is the great Q, the guru. And then, of course, in the middle, we've got the USC great and the former NFL linebacker, I almost said your brother's name, Zeke Moreno. So excited to have you guys with us. And we're into our next topic, you guys, a healthy scratch. Something that you don't see too many times when they're playing big time money for somebody. But Chase Claypool, the wide receiver of the Browns, somebody that they gave around, I think, a first-round draft pick, either a first or a second-round draft pick the Bears did to get him. He was a healthy scratch. And one of the main reasons was because he was talking about the coaching staff, saying that basically they were not up to the job and making the team lose. So I wanted to ask you, and we'll start with you, Guru. These guys have put in a lot of work to get to this stage. Obviously, I'm going to be frustrated if I'm feeling like I'm playing for coaches that aren't ready to help us get off. Is there a code that should be stuck by as far as what I should tell the media, or should these players be able to say what's on their mind?
I mean, you should be able to say what's on your mind to an extent, but this is still a job. And I think I was really listening to what Zeke was saying earlier on in the show about high school. When you get to the league, really when you get to college, But definitely when you get to the league, it's a job now. So you're there to do your job. So everyone's going to have an opinion. If you don't like where you're at, let your agent handle that and see if we can get this contract restructured and get me out of here. But let him do his job, and you just play. You do your job. You keep your words selective when you're talking to the media, and you do what you came to do. Because still when you're there, and I know, Zeke, you'll agree, especially when you're in the league, you're always auditioning for that next contract or that next opportunity to put yourself in a better situation. So don't be where you're a good player, but you say the wrong thing to the media. Now your agent maybe can work something out and get you out of there, possibly, but now you looked at other teams that would possibly take you in, but you might be a headache because you're known for saying something dumb to the media now.
Great point right there. Talk to me a little bit, Zeke. I mean, you probably didn't like every single coach you played for. Did you ever feel like you had to bite your tongue, or were you the type to let people know how you felt?
Well, there's a time and place to express certain things, and if something's on your mind, then you do it within the huddle or the organization. There's been many times where you had different opinions with the defensive coordinator, and it's not something you would bring up inside the defensive meeting, but after the meeting, hey, coach, this is what I was, whatever it may be. It's never something that's out of respect. You never do it in public. We mentioned the things that we do to sacrifice our mind and our body for our team. Now there's a different aspect of it too, a selfishness when it comes to it, because we've all had guys in our team that it's a show. You try to put on a show to get more audience, to get more attention, because that's what's going to draw more attention and more fans, and then eventually the big dollars are going to come in. But at a certain point, it becomes a distraction, and things of that nature. When you're dealing with family, because that's what you are, you put in 2 days for 3 weeks with these brothers, and you become an extension of your family, and you always want to go out there to put it on the line for each other. So when you're doing the opposite, you don't ever spill the beans outside the family. You hold it within yourself, talk within yourself. Then when it comes to outside, hey, you got to play that politician game. You know what? We're doing our best. Coaches, they're putting in work. It's this and that. It has to be broad answers. You got to know the game. This is not new to them. And obviously they're not the first or last athletes that's going to be in this situation. It's just unfortunate. Sometimes these kids have to learn the hard way before moving forward. But in the end, all they're doing is hurting themselves. Now it's more work on their agent to try to minimize this, so that way either they can ship them out somewhere else, and you're going to lose money. That's it. That's the line.
Bottom line.
Great
Absolutely.
point right there.
Absolutely.
And for you younger athletes, the way this shows up is that the coach is telling the recruiter not to recruit you. So this works at all different levels, and this is the college coach telling the NFL scout he's a problem. He's gonna stab you in the back. So you got to be diplomatic sometimes on how you handle things. We're on to the next topic, you guys, and once again we're talking about all the new age stuff that goes on in sports today, and obviously betting is huge, and it's at all levels. It's at the college level. It's at the pro level. And now the NCAA, you guys, we were all NCAA athletes, is trying to find ways to protect the athletes. There's people betting a lot of money on these games, and sometimes they're coming after the athletes, that make mistakes because they lost money. So I want to talk to you guys. I'll start with you, Q. When you think about ways to protect the student athletes, whether it is someone trying to coerce them to fix a game, or whether it's somebody, stalking them or on their DM because they messed up in a game, is that on the school, or do you think that's on the NCAA or the state to make sure that these kids are protected?
Well, I think it's on the NCAA. I mean, I've said this numerous shows. The NCAA needs to basically implement something, working together with universities where these kids can have some type of representation. I'm going to keep saying it over and over. At the D1 level now, these kids need representation, just like if you were in the league. It's the same rules applies. It's a lot of money flying around. We were just talking about the instance with the death threats with the safety they played. That's at Colorado State when he hit Travis. It's football. Travis wasn't himself, was forgiving and understood it's football, but because of betting, this kid, was getting death threats. We just discussed that. So these kids need all the representation that they can have, allowable to them, but they need.
But you're saying it's the NCAA that
I would say it would be the NCAA along with their respective universities, but they need to put something together, and they need to put something together fast, because again, as these NIL deals start, growing, the more money involved, the higher the stakes are, the more problems it's going to be too.
Well, as far as on this side, and Zeke, I want to get your opinion. We're talking about just the average bettors. So the average bettors are betting on college games, but they're getting mad at the kids. These kids are professionals. Zeke, you played at USC. Let's say you were playing UCLA. You miss a big tackle, and then now all these people that lost money are in your DM on your social media. Back when we played, they couldn't get that access to us. Now they can. Is that up to the kid and his family to protect himself? Is that up to the school, the NCAA, or the state?
Well, it's a combination, but I think ultimately the universities do provide. Even back then when we were playing, we always had police that were available, private securities that were available if any situation occurred, whether if it was on campus or off campus, because they are there to help assist us through our student athlete career. But when it comes to athletes, in the NFL, they always have a saying, you are responsible for 100% what goes in your body, right? You can no longer say, I didn't know it had this type of opiate or whatever it is. There's no excuse. You got to do the research. The companies that you invest in or whatever, you got to make sure that it's clean. And as far as athletes, there's common sense as far as, I don't know if gambling, if there's aspects of worrying as far as athletes now taking bribes or this and that. I think one of the benefits of paying these athletes is that so many of them are no longer desperate to take money on the side because they're getting money up front.
Right.
So I think that aspect is kind of swept under the rug. But when it comes to the after effects of certain situations that happen on the field, I think the university and ultimately the state has to do a great job as far as protecting these young men, because that's all they are. They're young men. They're not still transitioning to that next level and that next stage. But they definitely need that support.
Yeah, no, definitely something for us to keep an eye on. And you brought up the point, Q, with the kid at Colorado State. That was unfortunate, man. I'm just trying to play some ball. Now my family's getting death threats.
Man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So
it's a lot of money,
the NCAA and the school, can start to protect these kids. We're on to our next chapter right here, our next section of the show, you guys, and that is the lightning round. This is a part of the show that we're definitely excited about, and so if you're joining us for the very first time, this is our version, you guys, of word association, where Zeke is going to have 60 seconds. He's going to have 60 seconds to let us know what's on his mind. We're going to put him through a little blitz. He's used to a blitz, and we're going to see how he does here. So I've got a great list of either or of people he may be familiar with, and we're going to put him through a 60-second deal. So are you ready to go, big dog?
Let's rock and roll.
All right. Now you get one for tech delay. And 15 is the magic number. So if you can get to 15, then it's a dinner on the locker room show. So you get
what is it? I get one.
I said you want to get to 15, and you get one for tech delay. So you get a dinner on the show if you can answer 15 in 60 seconds. Okay?
Here we go.
All right. So let's cue him up. And let's get Big Zeke ready to go here. He's fresh off of work, and he's probably hungry, so this is right up his alley. I got the stopwatch ready. Let's see here. All right, baby. And we got Big Z in the locker room. We're going to set him to zeros. So you know I'm not cheating the Trojans. Even though they just beat my Buffaloes, I'm not going to cheat a Trojan. So we got him here at 0, and we're going to get started with the lightning round. So first thing that comes to your mind, okay, Zeke? Unfiltered. All right. Number 1, Castle Park High School. Go.
Trojans.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
The best.
Scarface or American Gangster?
Scarface.
Snow skis or jet skis?
Jet skis.
Von Miller or Terrell Suggs?
Suggs.
Best player you ever played against?
Ooh, Randy Moss.
Marty Schottenheimer.
Passionate.
Donnie Edwards.
Great linebacker.
Zachariah Branch. 44 seconds. Zachariah Branch.
Beast.
Mohawk or bowl cut? 52 seconds.
Mohawk.
Randy Moss or Megatron?
Mega.
Cinnamon roll or churro?
Churro.
Time. Okay. We gave him 1 more.
He might have got it.
Let's add him up.
Close.
And then
He's close.
He gets 1 for
He's
second.
close.
I think the Randy Moss one was big too, and we're gonna revisit it. We always do.
Yeah, hey, those were tough. Those were tough, Coach. That was rough.
Okay, we came with it on that one. So number 1, we got Castle Park High. That's his old high school. Number 2, we got LaDainian Tomlinson. Number 3, he's rolling with the Scarface. Number 4, we got jet skis. Number 5, Terrell Suggs. Number 6, going Randy Moss, best player. Number 7, Marty Schottenheimer. Number 8, Donnie Edwards. Number 9, Zachariah Branch. Number 10, Mohawk. Number 11, Megatron. And then number 12 with the tech delay. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming in. A couple of those were tough. Let's revisit. So obviously, LaDainian Tomlinson. Churro. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to give him 1 more for Churro. So he got 13 right there. So once again, he played for the Chargers. LaDainian Tomlinson, he said, was the best. He's going with the Scarface over the American Gangster. He's going with the water jet skis over the snow skis. And then you're going Terrell Suggs, huh? Over Von Miller?
Terrell Suggs is a problem, dude.
But I've seen Suggs in person, you know what I mean? The things that he can do. Even so many years that he put in, still that motor, he just had a motor that just kept going.
He was a problem, dude.
Yeah. And then you're saying best player. I mean, obviously, at USC, whether it was played against, you played against some amazing players. But you're saying best player, Randy Moss?
So I've seen him perform. Man, he's an unbelievable athlete. You know what I mean? And he's deceptive because he doesn't look it, but when he's out there, it's just linky, fast.
Yeah.
You have an angle on him, and it's just like he hits another.
Yeah.
There you go. And of course, he's going with the churro over the cinnamon roll. So we appreciate Big Zeke right there coming in for us on that one. And then right now we're on to our final section of the show, you guys. This is the audience Q&A. If you have an audience question, the comment section is open. Feel free to put that in the comment section. Let's see right here. Jimmy says, if I'm not mistaken, Zeke was the middle linebacker for USC when they played Auburn. Did you play against Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown?
They're after me.
They were after us. Okay. Yep. And then I see the great Mark Rosillo. What's going on, Crusader? Great interview, definitely. And we appreciate you joining us. But audience Q&A. So if you have something for Zeke, please feel free to put it in the comment section. And then Q, did you have a good question for Zeke tonight?
I did. So Zeke, I wanted to ask, I mean, obviously, man, USC is a lot of people's dream school. Was that a dream school for you to always go there? And when you got there as a freshman, how did you process that? Was it like, all right, like, is this another day of work? Or was it like, damn, like I'm about to ball at USC? And I've been watching this on TV my whole life. So how was it? What was the feeling, man? You know, with you going like from high school there and choosing there.
Right. Well, my top 5 schools were SC, Colorado, Texas, Ohio State, and Notre Dame.
Okay.
But my trip I actually took to Colorado, enjoyed it, and I was this close to going there with Neuheisel. And I mean, Neuheisel knew how to recruit. It was just an amazing trip. And I think that's why they had so much success, because he made sure that the recruits, when they went there, they had a great time, that they felt like it was going to be like that all year round. So they would sign on the dotted line right then and there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, being a Southern Cal kid, you kind of want to stay close to home.
Mm-hmm.
And although early on my sophomore, junior year, I was leaning towards UCLA, my senior year, I took my trip to USC, and it was just not just how they treated me, but also treated my family. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a front. You know, the Trojan family, it is real. Like, they take care of us. And it was just a tremendous blessing for me to go in that decision. It was getting there as a freshman. It wasn't easy. I thought I was putting in work in the offseason leading into my freshman year, and I go there, and we only had 2 linebackers for training camp, or freshman training camp, which were in there like 3 or 4 days before.
Right.
And every snap, everything, I thought I was in shape. I was huffing and puffing. Oh man, that first day was an eye opener for me. But like anything, you respond quickly. The next day was third day was better. And then as the veterans got there, you got to see a whole nother speed of these great athletes. And it takes time. It takes a little, there's a transition for it to take place. But I've had opportunities to watch greats like, Chris Claiborne in front of me, and be in shadow him and watch what he does, and what he did was another blessing for me. And then at the next level, I got to do that with Junior Seau, playing behind.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Him pointing out things that I didn't see. It just opens your mind what years of experience does, that you can just see it on the field and then just put it out on the field. And he had that was just amazing. Similar to another SC Trojan, Troy Polamalu, who he just had great instinct, and you almost see the play before it happens.
Definitely, man. Big man ripped the big 5'5", man. Like he was special, man. He was special. That's a big loss, man, in our football community, man. But Junior he was unreal, man. So I know it was a real blessing to be able to share the field with him for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why, and then they don't call it linebacker U for
facts.
But it was great. It was being 3 hours from home, gave family opportunities to come up and watch the game. Still kept my distance, allowed me to things and grow. And I think for me, it was the right decision for me.
Amazing, right
there. Now, let me ask you this. Hold on one second, cousin. I got one more question. This might be the question of all questions. Now, that being said, with the Pac-12 folding, would you have made the same call?
I mean, yes, because you play for universities. You don't play for the division at the conference.
True enough.
When I USC, I never even thought of the Pac-10 back then. It was Pac-10. I wanted to play for USC.
I got you. Okay.
Always play the game every year. UCLA, and they were going to line up against someone else every year, whether that was Alabama, Auburn, or someone else. They're going to play great schools, and that's what you want to do. You want to compete against
best,
top.
Yeah.
So I think it's most athletes, as far as recruiting, they don't think of that, but it's it's shocking to me to think about that within the next next year.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it had so much tradition, back from the Pac-10, just it changing to the Pac-12 was a little bit of a transition. And then now it's basically evolved to now where everyone's
they're
everywhere. Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's not so much of a big impact for football players because the game's on Saturdays. You can fly back. Sunday is a recovery day. Monday is a film day, whatever. But for those athletes that play Tuesdays or play Thursdays, and you're going to fly back and you're flying back to Los Angeles at 6 a.m. and you're expecting those kids to go to school the next day, it's going to have a tremendous effect for these student athletes because it's going to be so time consuming. They're going to miss so much class. Now I hear that they're going to have some hubs, you know, in the middle where they can just lay over, take classes, that nature. So I think for football, it's not that big of an impact, but for the other sports, I think it's going to be unfortunate and it's going to be a hard transition for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, Zeke, go ahead.
No, my bad, Coach. I was just gonna say, but it's like it's the rivalries. That's what makes college football, and kind of the other reason why I asked you that, because it's like, you know, that's what you look forward to back in the day, is seeing that Big Ten and Pac-10 matchup in the Rose Bowl. You know what I mean? It's like that was a part of, you know, us playing college football, as growing up and seeing this, you know, the Notre Dame and, you know, the Rocket Ismail versus, you know, USC, man. That was part of it, you know, and for them to basically, you know, let that be destroyed, man, that's a big blow. This is college football, and
they're not going to play these years, and you know, they mention some of these, or they neglect to mention these other universities like Washington State, Arizona State. Mm-hmm. Every year they snuck up on schools and they beat them. They beat a ranked team. So it's not necessarily they're not the most popular or talked about universities, but when it came to it, those kids wanted to go to those big schools, and when they didn't, they had a grudge to pull. And when they played USC, Arizona State, they brought it every year, you know. So it's unfortunate that you're not going to get those opportunities to play against Oregon every year. Or, you know, Stanford and Cal. It's hard to think of that, but you know, it's going to be nice playing at some of those other schools. I don't know how these Southern Cal kids are going to do in that snow and that cold weather.
Hey, you're right.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Definitely. Zeke, before we let you go, man, we have a lot of kids that watch these shows, parents that watch these shows. I know you're a parent, you're beautiful boys. Talk to me from a dad side, man. You've already been through this industry, and you know it has its highs and its lows. If you were a dad and your kid was really getting recruited hard, I mean, you mentioned Ohio State, USC, Notre Dame for yourself, blue blood schools. What's a way that these parents can decipher if a coach is really sincere or if a coach is just blowing smoke and trying to get their kid and then going right down the street, you know, saying the same thing?
You know, it's hard because these coaches are the next level politicians. You know, they're going to tell you everything you want to hear. And you knew it when you were recruiting. They told you everything. You want you to come in and start, or they give you the airplane. We only have, you know, 8 seats on this flight before it takes off. And we want you, you know, they kind of pressure you if they need you, and they're going to push that hot button. But if they want to linger you because they don't know where these other recruits are going to go, they're going to tell you what you want to use just to dangle that carrot in front of you, just to keep you, just in case something else falls through. So what I would tell these athletes is have your options available and be honest with these coaches. You know, you see athletes that commit, you know, are given scholarships, and then these universities pull back on them, you know. So it's just a matter of your options and having those correspondence with those coaches. And it's probably not going to be the head coach, but those position coaches, your linebacker, my linebacker coach I really connected with early on, and he was really truthful. You know, when I was getting recruited, John Robinson was telling me I'm going to come in and start and this and that, and his son David Robinson is like, well, you know what, we got some veterans in there. It's going to be tough, you know, but you're going to have to put some work in. But I can see you, you know, putting in some time, and it's a different, right? One coach wants to just get me there. The other one knows that he's going to guide me for the next 4 or 5 years. Right. So it's a different that you're going to try to build. That's the only thing I could think of. And then, like I said, is be careful. You're always on camera. You're always on someone's phone. You're on
social media is one of the best and worst things for these young athletes. It's great, some advertisement, and so it gives you a broader field to reach some of these coaches. But if something negative goes out there, it's on there, and it's hard to get it removed.
Yep.
And that you're going to have to live with those consequences. So just be cautious of what you put out there, what photos you take. Don't trust your friends that have photos of you that put you in awkward situations. Make sure that you handle yourself right. If your goal is to be successful and make it to the big leagues, you got to do things the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts at a young age, not as a senior, but as a freshman, sophomore. Start that. So that way, when it comes to your senior year, you're already prepared and ready for that next step.
Awesome. Now, folks, you understand now. Now, listen what this man said. It's not about choosing schools and chasing a bag. If you notice, he said it's about establishing a relationship, especially with your position coach. Now, he said it. You've heard it on previous episodes. I promise that is of the utmost importance. But focusing in on where can I go and chasing a bag, that will not work out well for you, because a lot of times if you're doing that, you're somewhere for the wrong reasons, and they have you there for the wrong reasons, and usually that ends up being not working out well. So definitely take heed to what he's saying.
Great point right there. Well, hey, we don't want to keep you long, man. Thank you so much for lacing us up tonight. Once again, you guys, this is somebody that had an amazing career. Top-notch university, went off, played in the NFL, also was an all-star in the Canadian Football League too. So everywhere he went, he made plays, and we thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Yeah, and that brings me back, if I can say one last thing, just because your dream is not reached right now, there's other things and other avenues that you can go to help pursue that. For me, after 6 years of playing, I played 3 years in Canada, and then it brought me back here to the U.S., so it's there's different routes to get to one destination. You know what I mean? So
that pivot,
working hard, put one foot in front of the other, and God bless and stay healthy.
Definitely appreciate you.
All right, Big Zeke, have a good one, man. Thank you,
gentlemen. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good
anytime.
All right, there you go. So hey, that is the great Zeke Moreno, and man, he was a hell of a linebacker, Q. Like I said.
Yeah, he was a thumper, man. Yeah.
Coming out of high school, man. I'm at the All-Star game. And I'm like, who is this dude? I thought he was a D lineman. He's about 6'3", 240, 2 feet, rocked up, going to USC.
In high school, right.
In high school, man. And I was like,
that's crazy.
Okay. But always willing to give his time back. Hopefully you parents out there, you athletes got a lot out of tonight's show. Sorry for the early tech difficulties, but in the live, we're live, and we're going to make it happen anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, Q, a lot going on, man. Big game. These kids are in the middle of the season, man. They get ready. See who's going to the playoffs and all that.
Oh man, and this is one thing I love about this game is it's working through adversity. Like for example, I know last week my Jayhawks were ranked in the poll, took a tough loss to Texas, but we lost our quarterback. Exactly. Now I think we
Soldiers gonna go down.
And I'm telling you, but what do we always say, Coach? That's why kids, if you're not with the ones and you're not starting, do not get discouraged. This is football. That's why you have to be prepared, because people will go down. It's a long season.
It's inevitable.
It's too much banging for people not to go down. Be ready. You will get your opportunity. You got to be patient. Don't start zoning out. Stay prepared. You'll get your shot. I assure you that.
Definitely. No, and some great topics talked about tonight, man. I mean, the Chase Claypool, he's a healthy scratch, man. Picture not being able to get to your money and you're healthy,
Yeah.
But you're not vibing with the organization. And then, of course, we've been talking about the betting thing and how that's coming into play with these kids. So as always, you guys, we're going to be talking about the topics that matter to you, and we're going to be bringing in great people from the industry that are living it, have done it, got connections, and they're all a part of the Locker Room Show community. So help us build this community, and make sure that you subscribe. make sure that you hit the like button. We work hard to bring you guys the truth. We work hard to bring you the truth about the football industry, and we want to see you guys thrive. So please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you are an athlete that does need some recruiting support, you do need some exposure, please do not hesitate. Before you go pro.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, hit that sign up button, and you can be one of the athletes that we work with getting to colleges, great universities across the country. We got kids playing from the East Coast down Southwest, all over. So we would love to work with you. But definitely, like I said, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button so we can bring you more sauce and get you guys gamed up for the rest of the season. Do anything for the people before we get out of here?
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, I'm going to say it again, like I said earlier in the show. Especially if you're a recruit, you're getting recruited heavily, please do not chase the bags and pickup trucks. Make sure that you're making the right decision and try to get it right the first time, because you don't want to hop in that portal if you don't have to.
There you go. There you go. So, hey, you got it right there from the guru. We love y'all. We'll see you next Thursday. And make sure you make plays this weekend. We'll see you at the top. Have a good one.